Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on turning frowns upside down, how to handle your negative Google reviews. Before we get started, I do want to let you know that we will be answering questions at the end of today's presentation. Feel free to submit any questions in the chat or Q&A at any point in the presentation. Even if you can't make it until the end, please submit your questions and we'll be sure someone reaches out to you with an answer. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. First, I'd like to take a quick moment to introduce myself. My name is Lauren Parr. I am the co-founder and product director here at Repugen, which is a healthcare reputation management platform that assists healthcare providers like you in improving their online reviews, patient acquisition, retention, and engagement. I'm also a contributing editor at the Forbes Business Communication Council. So with a little bit about me out of the way, I want to jump into today's agenda. Well, it's all about helping you turn those frowns upside down in patient care. So we'll be exploring why negative reviews matter and how they can actually be a positive thing, the impact of negative reviews and hidden opportunities for improvement, the reason behind those negative reviews, how to address concerns while keeping patient privacy a top priority, ways to manage your online reputation beyond just answering reviews, and lastly, automation tools that can save you time and streamline your review management process. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First, we'll go over the power of online reviews and the impact that they have on patients' decisions in today's healthcare landscape. So, let's face it, in today's digital age, online reviews hold immense power. They can be a source of both positive reinforcement and valuable learning for healthcare providers. While a negative review can sting, it can also be an opportunity to identify areas for improvement. Did you know that according to Repugen's patient review survey that we led in 2024, a whopping 73% of patients evaluate reviews before choosing a healthcare provider? That's more than 7 out of 10 patients are checking reviews. And it's not just about the number of reviews. 50% of consumers trust reviews as much as personal recommendations from friends and family, according to Bright Local's local consumer survey. Essentially, online reviews are the new word of mouth, shaping patient perception and influencing their healthcare choices. By effectively managing patient reviews, both positive and negative, you can demonstrate your commitment to patient feedback and continuous improvement. This dedication to your patient's experience will ultimately build trust and attract more patients to your practice. Throughout this webinar, we'll explore strategies for both handling and preventing negative reviews and negativity, empowering you to cultivate a thriving online reputation. So now let's dive deeper into the impact of negative reviews. So here's what you need to know. So negative reviews, first of all, they damage your reputation. Negative reviews can hurt your online review rating and search engine rankings, also known as SEO, making it harder for new patients to find you. Negative reviews also can erode trust. Potential patients may be hesitant to choose a practice with negative reviews, and that really can impact your overall patient base. Negative reviews can also be misleading. So not all negative reviews are created equal. Sometimes they may be misunderstood, or they may be due to misunderstandings or external factors. So while negative reviews can be discouraging to patients, it's important to remember they don't define your practice. So by responding professionally and taking steps to prevent negative reviews, you can help turn the tide and build trust with potential patients. So we've established the sting of negative reviews, but here's the good news. They can also be a valuable tool for improvement. So first, negative reviews can help build trust. Imagine you're searching for a new doctor online and you see a practice with only 5-star reviews, hundreds of just 5-star reviews, not a single negative or 4-star, 3-star review. So couldn't that come off and seem a little bit suspicious or maybe even staged? The patients may be asking themselves, how can it be that this practice is so perfect? Patients appreciate transparency and seeing a good mix of mostly positive and some negative feedback. It really does show authenticity and helps to build trust because patients know not everyone is perfect, not even their healthcare providers. Negative reviews also help even to boost conversions. So ultimately, trust leads to more appointments. When patients see a mix of reviews and how you respond to the negative ones, it shows you care about their experience. This can actually increase trust and potentially lead to more patients choosing your practice. And finally, negative reviews can also serve as a valuable tool for patients. They offer insights into potential issues at your practice, like long wait times or communication difficulties, and this can help patients make more informed decisions about their healthcare choices and also allows them to see how you handle those negative reviews in your responses to them. All right, so now that we've talked about why negative reviews hold significance even in healthcare, what are some other things that might lead a patient to leave a negative review on sites like Google, for example? So some reasons could be that they're feeling rushed or unheard. Patients want clear explanations, quality care, and to feel valued during appointments. There could be billing frustrations, surprise bills or unclear insurance coverage or unexpected charges can create a negative experience for patients. Another reason could be front desk interactions. If they have, rude encounters or if there's long wait times or scheduling difficulties, it can really leave a bad impression for those patients. In addition to that, excessive wait times. So long wait times can lead to feelings of impatience and frustration for patients. Also, if there's appointment issues such as short notice cancellations or difficult times getting timely appointments can really lead to more upset patients. And finally, practice accessibility. So parking issues or difficulty finding the practice location can definitely contribute to a negative experience. And those aren't the only things that could possibly lead to negative reviews, but those are very common reasons. So really, by understanding these common reasons, you can start to identify areas for improvement within your practice and potentially prevent negative reviews before they happen. All right, so we've explored some of the reasons patients might leave a negative review on sites like Google, but the question remains, should you respond to those reviews? And the answer is yes. And I want to go ahead and tell you why. So, responding to both positive and negative reviews helps you build a strong online reputation. It shows potential patients that you're engaged with your online presence and that you value the patient feedback that's coming through to your practice. So by responding to negative reviews, you demonstrate your commitment to patient satisfaction. It really shows that you're willing to listen to feedback and work to improve the patient experience. And next, it also increases the likelihood of being chosen. So since patients, 88% of patients are more likely to choose a business that responds to both positive and negative reviews, responding shows potential patients that you're transparent and accountable, which can really lead to more patients choosing your practice. And finally, responding thoughtfully can actually turn negatives into opportunities. So, when patients have a negative experience and they leave a review for you, it really allows you to address the patient's concerns publicly, explain your side of the story while remaining HIPAA compliant, and showcase your dedication to providing excellent patient care. So overall, responding to reviews, especially negative ones, is a great decision to make as it provides several benefits to your practice. All right, and so we know why responding to negative reviews on Google, for example, is important, but before we delve into crafting responses, let's talk about a crucial factor that I briefly mentioned, HIPAA. So protecting patient privacy is paramount in healthcare. HIPAA compliance ensures that sensitive patient information and protected health information is not disclosed, of course, without a patient's authorization. So you might be asking yourself, well, how do we craft responses that are both thoughtful and HIPAA compliant? Well, here's a helpful method called HEART, HEART, to help guide your responses. So first, with that HEART acronym, here is the first point, and it means you should let the reviewer know you hear their feedback by acknowledging their concerns. Next is E, empathize. Show that you understand their frustration. Validate their experience, without going into specifics. A is acknowledge. Acknowledge their experience, but avoid disclosing any details that might identify them as a patient. R, respond, offer solutions or explain processes generally. For example, you can mention that you're working on improving wait times, or that you offer multiple ways for patients to schedule appointments so that their experience is better in the future. And finally, T, you want to thank them for taking the time to share their feedback. So we've kind of unpacked the HEART, H-E-A-R-T method for creating responses that resonate with patients. But remember, HIPAA compliance is the priority. So how can we ensure our responses are both respectful and keep patient information confidential? Well, here are some tips for keeping your responses more generic. And first is to avoid confirming and denying details. So this applies to everything in the review. Steer clear of mentioning names, dates, any details that could potentially identify a patient. So let's look at another scenario. So imagine a patient is complaining about long wait times. Instead of saying, we apologize for the long wait on your appointment on Tuesday at 5:30, you could say, we understand wait times can be frustrating. We're constantly working to improve our scheduling processes to minimize wait times. So really the generic phrases are your friend. Ditch any language that you might, confirm or deny specifics of a patient's experience. For example, instead of saying, we apologize, Dr. Smith wasn't able to spend more time with you during your appointment on Tuesday. A more HIPAA compliant response would be, we apologize if you felt rushed during your appointment. And you really want to, in your response, try to move the conversation offline. So especially if a review requires addressing specifics, you're going to want to consider taking that conversation offline so you can address the patient in a one-on-one manner. So you could suggest discussing the details privately through a secure message, like a patient portal message or a phone call. This allows you to gather more information and address the patient's concerns while still maintaining HIPAA compliance. So, by following these tips, you can craft thoughtful and HIPAA compliant responses to negative reviews, again, on sites like Google. So now let's dive deeper into some best practices for responding to those negative reviews as per Google's guidelines. You'll notice that HIPAA compliance is a recurring theme, and again, it's for a good reason. So first, protect privacy. HIPAA compliance is crucial. Like we talked about, you never want to share private information or engaged in an argument with the reviewer. Try to understand the issue. Don't jump to conclusions, investigate the issue being raised in the review, and just try to understand why the patient is upset. Also, you'll want to take ownership. Where appropriate, be honest and take ownership of mistakes that you can control. For example, again, if a review mentions long wait times, acknowledge the issue and explain, what you're doing to improve. Also want to do your best to show empathy. So put yourself in the patient's shoes, apologize when appropriate, and show empathy for their experience. And again, always remember you want to be a real person. So, let your humanity shine through. Sign off with your name or initials to add a personal touch to responses. And lastly, you're going to want to respond promptly. So don't leave negative reviews hanging. You want to respond as promptly as possible to show that you care about the patient's experience and are committed to resolving the issue in a prompt manner. So again, by implementing these proactive strategies, you can cultivate a positive online reputation and minimize the impact of negative reviews. So remember, online reviews are a powerful force, but with the right approach, you can use them to your advantage to build trust with patients and grow your practice. So I want to go ahead and take a look at some sample responses to common negative reviews on Google. So remember the HEART method like we discussed earlier? Well, we're going to go ahead and see it in action here. So first we have the brief and uninformative review. Sometimes patients leave reviews that are short on specifics. So on the left is an example of a patient who didn't give very much detail as to why their appointment was negative. For such reviews with little to no context, you should acknowledge the negative experience without getting into specifics, offer a way for the patient to share more details in private, which is again important for HIPAA compliance, and finally show commitment to improving based on their feedback. And you can see an example of that exact response here. Also, other times patients may provide more details about their negative experience, and it could be an example or be an example of how they're leaving a review aggressively. So here's an example of an aggressive review from a patient who had a poor experience. You can see that the patient is very unhappy with their experience and has left a bit of an aggressive review towards the doctor, calling them names. So here's how you can respond to a review like this. Again, acknowledge and show concern about the specific issues raised without disclosing private information. Avoid addressing, name calling, or accusation about the doctor's personality, and offer a private way for the patient to share more details. Reiterate your commitment to providing a positive experience. So we've explored how to respond to some common negative reviews, but what about those reviews that seem a little different? Well, here are two examples. So first we have the questionable review. Other times reviews might be more subject or focus on personal opinions. On the right, we can see an example of a patient who left a review about her visit with a child at the dentist, where she claims that the dentist yelled at her child to shut up and stop crying. So take these steps to write the beneficial response for this scenario. Again, acknowledge the review and appreciate the feedback, even if what patients are saying are blatantly untrue. You always want to show the prospective patients that are reading your response that even if a patient is being unreasonable, you're going to avoid getting defensive about subjective opinions. And lastly, again, offer ways to discuss the concerns privately. And the hope is that you'll be able to rectify that situation with the patient offline, and maybe they'll go off and remove that review after that point. And then lastly, we have the picky patient review. So sometimes you might encounter reviews that focus on minor details or seem exaggerated. So here's an example of a patient who had comments about several details of the office, such as how small it was and the amount of kids running around. And again, to respond, take the following steps. Acknowledge the feedback and express concern. Avoid getting into specifics, again, due to HIPAA. And again, offer a private way to discuss the situation further. And lastly, you might encounter reviews that seem out of place. So we have an example of a patient who left a negative review about her optometry visit, when the practice left a review was actually for a pediatric practice. So if this happens, you can respond by taking the following steps. Politely point out the possible misunderstanding. Avoid making assumptions about the patient's experience or offering any sort of identifying information, and offer the option to discuss their experience if it was relevant to your practice. You can also mention reporting the review to the platform, but it's best to keep the response focused on being helpful to the patient, even if they're mixed up. So by understanding these different types of negative reviews and applying the HEART method, you can craft professional and HIPAA compliant responses. Remember, every review is an opportunity to learn and improve. So now that we've covered how to respond to negative reviews, let's shift gears and explore some proactive strategies. These will help you minimize negative reviews in the first place and keep your online reputation sparkling. So you'll want to go ahead and minimize your chances of getting a negative review. Well, how exactly do you do that? One way is by surveying patients. So regularly surveying patients about their experience at your practice will allow you to identify areas for improvement before they escalate into bigger issues where patients feel the need to voice them on your public platforms. You also want to address patient concerns. So don't ignore complaints. If you see recurring themes in surveys or reviews, take them seriously. Investigate the concerns and take steps to address them. This shows patients you value their feedback. And also encourage reviews. Make it easy for patients to leave reviews on Google. Politely request after positive interactions, following Google's guidelines, and ensure that you're able to generate more positive reviews. So by implementing these proactive steps, you can cultivate a positive online reputation and minimize negative reviews. The next step would be staying proactive because it is a key to ensuring your practice maintains a positive image. So here's how you can effectively monitor and proactively track your online reviews on Google. You'll want to enable your review notifications. Take advantage of the notification features provided by review platforms. By enabling notifications, you'll receive instant alerts whenever a new review is posted. This real-time awareness allows you to respond promptly, whether it's to thank a satisfied patient or address concerns. Also, do weekly check-ins. Consistency is crucial. Dedicate time each week to conduct comprehensive check-ins on all of your review sites. This practice ensures that you don't miss any feedback and that your online presence remains up to date. You'll also want to analyze patient feedback. Reviews are more than just star ratings. They contain valuable insights into the patient experience. So dive into patient comments to understand what aspects of your practice are working well and what might need improvement. Pay attention to recurring themes, both positive and negative, as they can guide your efforts to enhance patient satisfaction. So by digitally monitoring your online reviews, you not only stay informed about your practice's reputation, but also demonstrate your commitment to patient engagement and satisfaction. In the healthcare industry, managing your online reviews effectively is critical to maintaining a positive online reputation and improving patient satisfaction. However, managing patient reviews across those various platforms and for multiple providers or locations can definitely be a time-consuming task. There are automated tools that can help streamline this process, freeing up valuable time for you and your staff to focus on patient care. So here's how. First, you can track reviews in one place. By consolidating review tracking from all major platforms into a single dashboard, this centralized view gives you a comprehensive overview of your online reputation and allows for quick responses to new reviews. You can uncover the why with sentiment analysis. Go beyond the words. You can leverage AI-powered sentiment analysis to understand the emotions behind patient reviews. This can reveal hidden trends like satisfaction with specific aspects of your practice or areas needing improvement. By understanding the why behind your feedback, you can craft more targeted responses and improvements. You can also craft HIPAA-compliant responses with ease. You can generate pre-approved response templates tailored to specific review categories, positive, negative, concerns about wait times, etc. And these templates can be customized to ensure they are HIPAA-compliant and address the core issue raised in the review. And also, you can automate review requests. Setting up automated workflows to send polite review requests to patients after their visits can significantly increase the volume of positive reviews you receive and boost your online reputation. So by incorporating automated tools, you can streamline your review management process, gain valuable patient insights, and ultimately cultivate a thriving online reputation for your practice. Alrighty, and that is everything that I wanted to cover in today's webinar. So as we wrap up today's session, let's just give a quick key takeaway that will help you effectively manage patient reviews and again, enhance your healthcare practice. So negative reviews, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They can damage your online reputation. So impacting search engine online, your SEO and patient trust. However, they can also be helpful learning tools. You'll want to acknowledge both positive and negative feedback and embrace the HEART, H-E-A-R method. Craft HIPAA-compliant responses that hear patients' concerns, show empathy, acknowledge the issues, respond with solutions, and thank them for the feedback. Use negative reviews for improvement and implement changes to enhance the patient experience. Responding promptly and professionally to negative reviews demonstrates your commitment to patient care. And utilize a review tracking system to monitor online reviews across platforms, receive real-time feedback, and facilitate quicker responses and proactive improvements. So by incorporating these strategies, you can turn the challenge of managing patient reviews into an opportunity for growth and enhanced patient satisfaction. So I hope these insights will help you better manage your patient reviews and your practice. I also just want to take a moment to tell you a little bit about how Repugen is a comprehensive reputation management platform designed to help healthcare practices like yours thrive in today's digital world. So we offer a variety of services to help you improve and manage your online reviews, automate and track the process, and more. We help you build a healthy online presence in an automated manner. So if you're interested in Repugen, contact us today at info@repugen.com or visit our website at www.repugen.com to learn more about us and how we can help you build a thriving reputation and ensure you're turning those frowns upside down. I also just want to let you know about a special limited time promotion that we have going on specifically for webinar viewers. So for a limited time, we're offering a 6-month trial of our Repugen Review Pulse service. So this offer expires at the end of this month, so don't miss out. Repugen Review Pulse is a comprehensive review tracking system designed to streamline your online reputation management. And with the Review Pulse plan, you'll be able to manage reviews from all major platforms and improve your overall presence. So with this, you'll also get ReplyWise, which is Repugen's AI that helps you save time by automating responding to reviews. You'll be able to improve patient engagement by responding to reviews promptly and professionally. And you'll also be able to generate online review notifications and see all of your online reviews in one place. So this will really help you get a leg up on your reputation management process, and it is free for 6 months and there's no commitment required after that, but you do get to get exposure and start using a tool to help you with all these processes we talked about. So just visit our website at www.com or contact us at info@repugen.com to activate your 6-month free trial of Repugen's Review Pulse. And again, this offer expires at the end of June, so act now. All right, so with all of that out of the way, thank you for your time today. We're really happy to answer any questions you may have about the topics that I discussed in the webinar. Okay, so it looks like we've got a couple questions. So the first one is, any suggestions when a review is either clearly from a fake account and Google doesn't remove it, or from a non-existent patient? Yeah, so dealing with fake reviews or reviews from non-existing patients can definitely be frustrating, especially if attempts, to get them removed by platforms like Google are unsuccessful. So here are some, different things that I would recommend. Number one, respond to that review. So again, kind of employ the heart method. You want to stay professional and polite, but you'll also want to provide evidence or state that you've thoroughly checked your records and have no record of that patient's name or the details that they mentioned, and invite them to contact you. So you'll want to take this offline, encourage the reviewer to contact your office directly to resolve the matter, which often deters further fake reviews. But really, by staying professional, providing evidence or stating that you've checked your records and you don't have record of this patient's name, that shows prospective patients that they probably aren't a real patient, and inviting them to contact you. Hopefully you'll be able to resolve their issue offline. But again, I would also recommend flagging the review again. So if Google, doesn't go ahead and remove that review, I would try again, provide more detailed information, include as much detail as possible, such as why you believe the review is fake and how it specifically violates Google's guidelines. You can find their guidelines online, and you can kind of cite specific parts of the Google guidelines, and that typically helps with getting things removed. But yeah, so those are really my main pieces of advice. I know it can be frustrating to deal with, reviews from non-existing patients, but really just responding and flagging the review again should be able to help hopefully get that review cleared up. And another question we have, so I'm a bit confused. How can negative reviews be seen as a good thing? Don't they hurt your business? Yeah, great question. So, while a surplus of negative reviews can definitely harm your online reputation, having just a couple, again, can really provide a few opportunities and benefits. So, number one, negative reviews can help build more credibility to your practice. So if a patient visits a practice's review site or a provider's review site and sees that 100% of the reviews are 5-star ratings, and there's a lot of them, they might get the feeling that it feels a little staged, or that the reviews may not be credible. So some negative reviews here and there can make your practice seem more authentic and credible. But negative reviews also provide opportunities for growth. So by seeing and gaining patients' feedback, you're able to take it into consideration and implement changes within your practice. So you can respond to the review, attempting to resolve, the patient's concerns and retain them with your practice. So all in all, a few negative reviews can go a long way in helping your practice. Okay, we got another question. Why should I respond to negative reviews if the patient is not likely to return? Yeah, so responding to reviews, both positive and negative, can play a major impact on your practice. So, responding to negative reviews allows you to reach out to the patient who had a poor experience and resolve any issues. So, you're able to let the patient know that you care about their feedback and are always trying to improve. And that's the main thing that you want to do, make them feel heard and increase the likelihood of them returning. But also, prospective patients can see your response. They'll understand that you take feedback seriously and provide excellent care and support the patients that do have negative experiences, and it'll show that you're, trying to rectify those experiences. So, really, responding to negative reviews can help you build your patient base and grow your practice. Okay, and another question we've got, can you go over again how I can maintain HIPAA compliance when responding to reviews? Yes, of course. So one of the tips to remain HIPAA compliant while responding to reviews is really to avoid confirming or denying anything specific about the patient. So you should avoid, mentioning the provider's names, dates, their name, any other details that can be used to, identify the patient themselves. And always my number one tip is to try and move the conversation offline. So you can provide a phone number or email address for the patient to contact within the response when you give their negative review. And you can take the conversation away from that review site and talk to the patient about any specifics in private, with a secure conversation in order to comply with HIPAA regulations. How should I respond to a patient who left a review for my practice, but they've never visited or been a patient? Yeah, so pretty similar to one of the other questions we got, but great question as well. For patients who've mistakenly leave a review for your practice, we recommend kindly letting them know that they have done so and you really aren't able to find any record of them, and try to take the conversation offline. As well, you'll want to try and flag that review with the review site that it was left on, so that they can review it and hopefully get it removed for you. But all of this will help you to, again, comply with HIPAA regulations and sort those things out to have the patient potentially remove the review, or the review site remove the review. Okay, another question was, what is Review Pulse again? Yes, so that is the promotion that's going on right now. Review Pulse is Repugen's free review management solution that helps you manage your online reviews across major platforms that patients are using. So with this plan, and it's free for 6 months, you'll be able to receive notifications for online reviews, and track all of your online reviews, and use our AI-powered tool known as ReplyWise to generate HIPAA compliant responses to reviews. So these tools will really help you to streamline your review management process and help you build a positive online presence. Just gonna wait another 30 seconds or so to see if there's any other questions here. Alrighty, well, it looks like those are all of the questions for today. So again, thank you for joining us for today's webinar on managing patient reviews and turning those frowns upside down. in 2024. We really hope you found the information valuable and wish you all the best in building a strong online reputation for your healthcare practice. Again, if you're interested in taking advantage of our review polls offer, you can contact us at info@repugen.com or visit our website at www.repugen.com. You'll see contact us forms on the website, and if you mention the webinar, you'll be sure to get that promotion, review polls promotion for free for 6 months. Alrighty, well, thank you again so much for joining and have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye.